Throughout the years, as the many Pokemon games came out, so did many rivals. These are the characters that help you grind and take on new challenges in your journey. These are the characters you want to beat every now and these are the sometimes douchebags or the helpers that take you to your journey. And that's why today I'll be talking about, in my opinion, the top 5 best rivals in the Pokemon games. So let's get right into it. In number 5 on my list is Barry. Barry was actually a really good rival. I myself have a lot of memories with him being my first rival. He did have a strong team in both Diamond and Pearl and Platinum, but he was not very troubling, and I was never excited to battle him when I saw him, and his motivation to better his father was lackluster, as you barely saw him any interaction between him and his father. At least he was better than the X and Y and Sun and Moon rivals, I guess. Number 4 on my list is Hugh. This is also a really interesting rival. Uh, he's normally different than the other rivals you see, because he actually hates the evil team but also likes you as a trainer and respects you. And that is, I think, that was, I think, an intelligent thought by the Pokemon team. Uh, he of course also has a really strong Pokemon team, as you can see right there, and the Buffalon is very dangerous. Of course, has type coverages, and of course, his Pokemon do get to a really high 65 level, as you can see right there, and he constantly tests you as a Pokemon trainer, which I found fun. But being a really helping Pokemon trainer, he is not like one of those rivals that you wanna always beat, because he's really helpful. So you don't feel like I'm gonna kick his ass. You don't feel angry at him. I instead felt sad for him sometimes. Of course, he likes you because you helped his sister's Purloin, but I thought he was too friendly and not the rival you want always beat that helps you grind. But of course, he was really helpful, and I thought he was a little better than Barry. But yeah, that's my number 4. Let's move on to number 3. Number 3 on my list is of course Wally. He's one of my favorite rivals of all time. And he's an amazing character, from a sick old child at the beginning to at the end, the hero, one of the strongest trainers you can face. Was amazing. I really like his character arc. From a weak opponent. He was so weak at first, but at the end he got so much powerful. It's amazing. He had a really good team in both Pokemon Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire and in the original Ruby and Sapphire games. And I always liked his character arc, and of course he at last got the Mega Evolution. He's a few rivals. Only the few rivals have Mega Evolution, and he's one of them. And his Mega Gallade just suits him so much. And at last he got an amazing team as well with his battle. But for some reason he doesn't make the cut, and I will explain. You will understand when we move on to number 2. So yeah, that's why I'll leave number 3, and let's go to number 2, shall we? Number 2 is Silver. Silver is as perfect of a rival as you can get. He's evil, he's a douchebag, and he pushes you to your limit. He is really arrogant, and he's the type of rival you need. He's the type of rival you always want to beat. Every time you meet him, you want to destroy him, and that's the type of rival he is. And of course, he gets a different introduction to you, as normally your rivals are people from your town or family friends which you know or get to meet, and they are trainers who also want to be the very best. That's how you get to know them. But no, Silver is not like that. He gets introduced as a thief who has stolen Pokemon from the lab, the starter Pokemon. So that's a pretty cool introduction. Of course, the plot twist of him being Giovanni's son was amazing. And of course, because of all of this, he sees Pokemon as tools, as weapons, not anything more. But of course, slowly he learns the importance of Pokemon, respects him, and that's a great character arc. And of course, his team is pretty good as well. Of course, they're pretty low level, rather from the latest ones. But of course, the Gen 6 games, these are pretty easy games. But the older Gen 2 games are pretty difficult. So yeah, that's why his team level really doesn't matter. But yeah, that's why he is number 2. Let's move on to my number 1. Number one in my list is Blue. Of course, you had to expect Blue. He is the type every rival follows. He is of course the number one. All the latest rivals follow his footsteps. He is the original rival, and of course, in my opinion, the best rival. He is the type of rival who would push you to your limits. And he was such a douchebag. He would always, of course, choose the Pokemon that was stronger than your starter. And whenever he would lose, he would not agree that he was weaker. He would just act off and find a way to make you even more pissed at him. And of course, he would either tell it's his Pokemon's fault or would not say that he's weak. And that build up an aggression inside you. I'm gonna kick his ass. You He created a hate towards him, and of course he was always one step ahead of you. In every gym he was there before you, and of course he became the champion before you, and that's why you have to battle him. Of course, he had a really strong team, a very high level, and it was really strong. It was very much stronger than all the latest rivals, and of course he's the only rival that is a champion when you fight him. Of course, you're gonna tell how. No, how is not a champion. He just challenges you for a champ. How challenges you to become the champion, but he is not the champion. But as when you enter the championship room, Blue is already a champion. He's the only trainer to be that. He's the only rival, and he's the perfect rival to push yourself, and you always get angry at him. You hate him at first because of how snobby and how arrogant he is, but at last when you beat him and in that final battle, it feels so good. That feeling cannot be topped. And that's why Blue is number one in my top 5 rivals list. So after watching this video, subscribe, like this video, because that helps me a lot. Until next time, I'll see you. Bye bye.